So in the township, we don't have that education of health or the healthy eating education. So that for me then led to a situation where I said, you know what, let me now learn more about these problems or illnesses. So for me, it was like, okay, let me actually look at a bread that is no sodium and no sugar, and that bread should be spinach bread based. It should be a low GI out of spinach. So I went online and I googled how to bake the best bread in the world. And then I came across this Breaducation website, and then I learned there how to bake, the fermentation processes, professionally everything, rolling and temperature. So that for me was a course on its own, while at the same time I was experimenting everything, taking out what's not relevant from a knowledge of the dietitian that I actually got when I was doing my voluntary work, taking out the oils, as I understood that, those are the critical components that will contain these carcinogens or these problems that I'm trying to eradicate. So what I had back then was 40 rands. It was 2011, 40 rands, a neighbor's oven. I had 3 bunches of spinach from the garden that I used to volunteer from. And for me, intellectual capital, those are the resources that I use. So if someone asked me of a capital, that was capital for me.
Yo, I like a lot of it because it's like having all the nutritious elements that we need, but all in a way that's very hip and fresh, and it doesn't feel like a drag. It's not like when you were growing up you didn't like vegetables. He makes you want to love like eating healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy, you must eat healthy, you see. So I'm gonna come back.
There were 2 elements that we wanted to sort of investigate, and that was we wanted to be, authentic and African, and at the same time we wanted to, through design, illustrate that it was a bakery. And the one element that tied those things nicely together was the weave, like a basket weave, because that's something you typically see in a bakery, and it's a very African sort of traditional element. Counter weave, that's basically a giant basket woven with birch, and the floor is a mosaic of planks that have been vibrantly painted and put in place, and so that they look gives the effect of a basket weave pattern.
Everything has to be accessible to people. Hence this setup, which is more of people or more of serving people. So we're serving them and making sure that we negotiate for good prices with our suppliers.
It has to take off. If it doesn't, it's going to be blasphemous. This concept has to take off. It's a must-have in every township or in every place in the world, actually.
Because I'm an athlete, you see. At least if I can get a bread here with low GI than Woolworths one, because Woolworths is expensive, you see. If I can get it here, then I can buy the low GI bread.
Very affordable compared to other stores that you can get that provide the same services. And the nice thing, it's local, it's here in our own neighborhood, so it's easy to access as well.
He also uses local suppliers and community gardens to bring in the spinach that he used to volunteer at. And then what that does is create employment in the township, and that generates wealth inside the township and keeps it in the township, creating a little microeconomic climate that's very sustainable.